Good morning, everyone. Today I'll be reviewing the implementations and effectiveness of concussion management protocols in rugby league, focusing on player safety and well-being, as well as deeply highlighting the risk of underreporting. Concussion, also known as traumatic brain injury, TBI, is a change of consciousness due to external force to the head or body that alters brain function. These injuries can range in severity, but even mild concussions can have lasting physical, cognitive, and psychological impacts if not managed properly. In high-impact sports like rugby league, concussions are especially common. In fact, account for around 20% of all injuries in the NRL. As a part of Assessment 2, a literature review was conducted to examine current research on concussion protocols and their effectiveness in elite contact sports such as the NRL. The primary goal was to gather evidence on concussion management strategies, particularly those influenced by the Berlin Consensus Statement, which provides internationally recognized guidelines for concussion management. Additionally, the review highlighted promising preventative approaches aimed at reducing concussion risk before injuries even occurred. These included the use of training modifications and video analysis, both of which showed positive results in enhancing player safety. The research paper by Longworth et al. 2021 was chosen due to its focused investigation in the underreporting of concussions among elite NRL athletes, a major issue that poses risk to both player safety and well-being. What makes this study particularly valuable is its direct engagement with athletes through surveys, allowing for first-hand insights into players' concussion reporting behaviors. The paper also explores the social and psychological factors that contribute to non-disclosure, such as not recognizing symptoms or feeling pressure to continue playing. These findings have practical implications for improving current protocols and highlight the urgent need to strengthen education, reporting culture, and support systems within the NRL. Longworth highlights the issues within the current concussion protocols, mainly the higher rates of underreporting due to lack of education and fear of missing games. Underreporting can lead to serious health long-term issues for players who continue to play while concussed. The study calls for better concussion education and the use of more objective diagnostic tools. Longworth addresses this by surveying NRL players and sharing key findings with key stakeholders to improve player safety and well-being. Longworth conducted a cross-sectional study aimed at understanding the extent of underreporting concussion symptoms among elite National Rugby League athletes. The study involved a sample size of 151 male athletes from 10 different clubs over the 2018 and 2019 season. The dependent variable was whether players admitted to not reporting at least one concussion, yes or no, to help measure the actual underreporting behaviors, and independent variables, such as age range, which may influence reporting behavior and risk perception, user playing experience, and concussion education exposure to see if prior knowledge impacts likelihood of reporting. While the study from Longworth offers valuable insights, there are some design limitations that may impact the validity and reliability of its findings. First, the study used a non-validated questionnaire, which can lead to inconsistent interpretation of questions by participants, reducing the reliability of the data. Second, because the data was self-reported, there is a risk of response bias. Players may have under or over-reported their behaviors due to social pressure or fear of judgment. These factors may affect internal validity of the study and mean that the findings, while important, should be interpreted with some caution. Longworth found in the study that underreporting of concussion symptoms is a major issue in the NRL, with 17.2% of athletes admitting they did not report at least one likely concussion. The most common reason for not reporting was a lack of understanding about when the concussion had occurred. To address this, the study recommends implementing more objective silent concussion diagnostic tools and providing improved and ongoing concussion education for athletes. These steps aim to create a safer sporting environment by encouraging timely reporting and better recognition of concussion symptoms. The researchers used a cross-sectional study design, which was ideal because they wanted to look at the prevalence and association between certain factors and concussion reporting, all at one point of time. This type of design is efficient and useful when you don't need to track changes over a longer period. However, not all NRL clubs took part, which meant the researchers had to work with a smaller sample size than originally planned. This was a limitation, but the data still offered some valuable insights. As for the variables, the study focused on independent factors like age and playing experience. These were important because they found that younger athletes were often less likely to report concussions, mostly due to financial pressures and their goals of making it professionally. Another key factor was whether players had received concussion education. This made a difference in how likely they were to report recommendations, to reporting recommendations, sorry. So overall, these variables were chosen because they had been directly related to the barriers the study was aiming to explore. To justify the overall presentation and provide a broader context, it's helpful to compare Longworth et al. Studies with another peer-reviewed study by McLeod et al. 2025. Like Longworth, McLeod also uses a cross-sectional design but focuses on the NRLW, studying 132 female athletes. They use similar independent variables, including age and concussion education, which makes it a strong point of comparison. Interest and interestingly, their findings showed a higher percentage of female athletes, 37%, did not report a possible concussion. By comparing both studies, we can see that the designs are similar and the variables are consistent. However, the outcomes differ due to context-specific factors. This comparison helps reinforce the importance of considering population difference when evaluating concussion reporting behavior, and it supports the relevance and value of Longworth's findings in the wider research landscape. Implementing the findings of this study is a vital preventative measure to protect players from long-term consequences of concussion, including chronic brain injury. By enhancing education, introducing anomalous reporting tools, and shifting team cultures, clubs can reduce the underreporting of symptoms, ensuring early detection and treatment. While the upfront costs of these strategies, such as training, app development, and increased medical oversight, are moderate, they significantly outweighed wider benefits, improve in player safety, um, longer career longevity, reduced legal risk, and a stronger ethical and public reputation. Investing in these preventative approaches not only safeguards athletes' health, but also strengthens the sustainability and integrity of the sport. This recommendation may reflect a bias towards prioritizing player safety and ethics, with limited insight into the internal pressures of elite sport or how cultural factors may influence reporting behaviors. Recognizing these limitations is crucial in ensuring that any recommendation remains open to diverse perspectives, especially those from the athletes themselves and medical professionals working on the ground. One key barrier is the culture of toughness. To overcome this, team leaders and coaches need to actively promote a health-first mindset. Another major barrier is a lack of understanding and trust around concussion risk. Regularly engaging education and anonymous reporting tools can help players safer about speaking up. To translate the findings of Longworth et al.'s studies into practical action in the NRL, a fit model to use can be the 4A model by Pronovost 2008, which emphasizes engagement, education, execution, and evaluation. Treatment of concussion can be through building awareness and ownership to underreporting among stakeholders. This can be done by involving players, coaches, team managers, and medical staff, sharing the statistics of athletes not reporting concussion, and they can use ex-players to share their knowledge on concussion and the dangers around it. Education. Providing knowledge of concussions can be done through delivering interactive continuous education sessions, focusing on multiple facets of concussion, such as symptoms, as well as consequences of underreporting and the significance of long-term brain health, and rebutting myths about toughness. Execution can be done through integrating the findings into practice, such as encouraging individuals to adopt, if in doubt, sit-out policies, and using digital apps where players can log concussions and track health progress after brain injury. We can also evaluate concussions by measuring progress and refining the approach. This can be done through ongoing surveys assessing attitude towards concussions through the individuals and reporting the results of the findings to underreporting in the future to stakeholders to maintain accountability. Thank you all for sticking by. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.